Have you ever stopped to wonder why life on Earth is so specific? Why certain animals and plants are only found in these very particular corners of our planet and nowhere else? It's almost like there's this invisible blueprint organizing everything. Well, today we're going to uncover it.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a classic example. We all know polar bears, right? They're massive, they're powerful, and they're perfectly built for the cold. But did you ever really ask why they only live in the Arctic? I mean, why not Antarctica? It's just as cold, just as icy down there. So what's the deal?
And then there's this puzzle. Let's hop, literally, to the other side of the world. Kangaroos are the symbol of Australia, but why aren't they native to, say, the grasslands of Africa or the plains of America? It seems like they do just fine there. This isn't just some random coincidence, and the answer, well, it's absolutely fascinating.
So all these questions about where life exists, they're not just for a trivia night. They actually lead us to this incredible field of science that's dedicated to solving this exact puzzle. And this is where we find the key.
And that key has a name: biogeography. It's the study of the distribution of life, not just across the globe, but also through deep time. You can think of it as part biology, part geography, and it tells the epic story of how every single living thing found its home here on Earth.
So biogeography breaks down the why into a few really core factors. Climate is a huge one, right? Temperature, how much rain there is, that dictates who can survive where. Then you've got physical barriers, things like massive oceans or mountain ranges that act like giant natural fences. And finally, the very soil and the plants that grow in it create these unique conditions that only support specific kinds of life.
But here's the thing. Biogeography isn't just about what's happening right now. To really understand the map of life today, we have to look back, way back. We have to learn how to read the deep history that's written into the evolution of life itself.
And this really says it all. Long before we had things like DNA sequencing, scientists like Charles Darwin looked around and saw that the distribution of animals was powerful, undeniable evidence for his theory of evolution. He realized that where animals lived told a story about where they came from, and crucially, how they changed over millions of years.
A fantastic example of this in action is something called adaptive radiation. So picture this: an ancestor species, just one, arrives in a new, isolated place, like an island. As you can see here, different groups get separated from each other. One group adapts to eat seeds, so their beaks get stronger. Another adapts to catch insects, so their beaks get thinner. Over a long, long time, these tiny adaptations add up until they become entirely new species. And you know what? Darwin's finches in the Galapagos are the absolute textbook case of this.
So it's clear biogeography explains the past, but honestly, its real power might just be in helping us map out our future. This isn't just some historical science collecting dust on a shelf, it's a critical tool for tackling the challenges we are facing right now, today.
You see, the same principles that explain why kangaroos are only in Australia can also help us tackle modern crises. The big three threats to biodiversity are right here: habitat loss, climate change, and deforestation. Biogeography is what allows us to identify biodiversity hotspots, those precious areas with tons of unique species, so we can prioritize our efforts to protect them before it's too late.
And this is happening as we speak. As our planet warms up, species are on the move. They are literally migrating towards the poles or climbing up to higher altitudes, all in a search for cooler temperatures. Biogeographers are the ones tracking these incredible shifts, which helps us predict what our ecosystems are going to look like in the years to come. And its application goes way beyond wild animals. It directly affects our food supply. Understanding that perfect blend of climate, soil, and rainfall is key for sustainable agriculture. It's why rice thrives in wet tropical climates, and why wheat prefers cooler, temperate zones. It's all about working with the Earth's natural blueprint, not against it.
Now let's bring this all the way home, because this blueprint, it doesn't just shape animal and plant life. It has profoundly shaped the entire story of humanity.
Just think about it. Where did the great civilizations of history spring up? It wasn't in the middle of dense, impenetrable forests. Nope. It was on fertile plains, right next to rivers, where you could actually grow food and support a large population. Our own distribution across the planet is a direct result of biogeography. And here's a connection that you might not expect at all: public health. To fight a disease like malaria, you first have to understand the mosquito that carries it. Where does it live? Where does it breed? By mapping the distribution of these disease carriers, biogeography becomes this incredibly crucial tool for predicting outbreaks and planning effective health strategies. So you see, From polar bears to public health, biogeography is this unseen blueprint that shapes all life, and that includes us. So that leaves us with one final, and I think really crucial question. If this science gives us the blueprint, what is our responsibility? How can we use this knowledge to become better, smarter architects of our planet's future?